Yes, people, welcome back to Weird and Wonderful. We are back again.
What you said, bro? Little hiatus things.
Little hiatus. Had a little holiday. Got out of offices.
Festival season, innit?
Exactly. But we are back. We are back to give, as usual, a quick roundup. Maybe not so quick actually, but a very in-depth,
few things we need to
detailed. Sorry, should I say?
Few things we need to chop up.
Analysis of the weekend, a weekend's football. I think we're in different spirits a little bit. I'm feeling quite jammy. Where my team, I'd say,
we're gonna get onto that, brother.
We'll get onto that. Didn't necessarily play our best, but got the 3 points. But
one word, Fred.
No. We'll talk about. We'll talk about Fred.
He needs his own little
segment.
We're gonna call that the Fredman section.
Yeah, intervention. Intervention.
Oh god, but
I think your game came first.
Yeah.
It was the evening kickoff on
Saturday night.
Usually quite like a good
night.
setting
that's what you want
for these sorts of games. A bit fiery. People have had their food, they've digested.
Couple beers. You're feeling away. Game of the day's on. You've seen the 3 o'clock kickoffs. You've seen the early kickoff again. We're going to get onto this later on, but Arsenal really set the tone over the weekend. But yeah, the game. So obviously the game came round. I was quite confident. We were building it up. Well, people were building it up. Lukaku, Van Dijk, and someone that we mentioned actually in our post-pre-match, Kai Havertz, said that he's going to be a problem this season. We spoke on him a couple of weeks ago. I think we both said he's our young
you put him forward as your young player of the year, didn't you?
Yeah. Great finish.
Came back to bite you on your ass a little bit as well. He's great header. Top header. He's a tall lad. So I mean,
he's like 6'2", isn't it? He's not deceptively.
You expect him to, as he sort of gets older, to sort of finesse that part of his game.
Brother, he's got everything. Everything he's got. But so obviously the game went on. The red card was a turning point. We were just discussing it off camera a second ago, whether it was a red card or not. For me, it's a red.
Yeah, it's for me, it's Stonewall, man. It's he stopped the ball from going in the back of the net using his hand. Whether he meant to or not,
he gave it the one, then he gave it.
It's a goal scoring opportunity. If you chip someone up on their way to goal and they're about to score a goal, and you chip them up and you're outside the area, that's a red card. That's a red card.
Exactly.
If it's inside the area, if you're not made any attempt to play the ball, then it's a straight red. I feel like you need to adapt the rules a little bit.
Too much
getting the goal.
Too much of that every
but for me, that's a red card. I wouldn't be too angry if that.
Exactly. But
it's just unfortunate. I don't think he meant to do it, but he definitely
turning point. Definitely the turning point of the match.
Yeah, because I'd say before that moment, you guys were kind of hanging on a little bit. We
were on ropes. We were definitely on ropes at certain points.
I think there's that opportunity. I think with Mount playing it into Lukaku, well, not playing it into Lukaku rather.
And just going literally pretty much across the line. Exactly.
That moment, that could have been 2-0, and I don't think there's any coming back from that.
Nah. But we were like we said earlier as well. Even we got life a couple of times. That incident. There was another one as well where Lukaku goal bound shot, Matip blocked it. But I think like a couple seasons ago, and I know this is going to lead on to the question you got from me in a second. But a couple of seasons ago, I think we win that game when it goes 1-1 to men. I feel like we find a way to win that game. That 100%. Even if it whatever it is, we would have found a way. We would have kept knocking on the door. We would have been probing with a bit more penetration. I feel like Chelsea are undoubtedly one of the best. They got one of the best defensive units in Europe. I'd say comfortably. But I just feel like a couple years ago we might have found a way to come back into that. So it was a bit disappointing. Definitely a better point. Well, it was a point game, 1 point game for Chelsea, 2 points.
I actually was safe about that. I think Chelsea. I think the game was there to be taken at times.
Yeah, you said you actually think Chelsea could have won.
I think they had the better chances, and to be honest, I would have been a bit disappointed if I were them at the final whistle that they couldn't get all 3 points. Admittedly, obviously, 10.
You just sort of read they were hugging up, doing up team talks and that.
But they showed a lot of respect to you guys. You're Liverpool. You've got a long history, and I guess the question I want to ask actually before. We go for pre-prepared questions. Put your anti-rattle gear on right now, yeah. Put your anti-rattle hat.
I swear, if you talk about Thiago,
it's just going to be a quick question. It's just going to be a quick question.
Oh, bro.
Answer it how you want.
Yeah.
Have we seen the best of this Liverpool side?
there's in this
because on the point you made about like the Liverpool 2 years ago, you would have been Chelsea would have been holding 3-4 goals. But this Liverpool team hasn't really got the teeth. Don't feel as sharp. You know what I mean?
The penetration is not quite like. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be doing that much. But the penetration is not
the hand movement.
Like, the way we used to have teams like camped in, like shots that you flying in all over the box. It felt a bit like we were slightly off the pace. It was a bit like a training session where you do like 10v11 just to practice in training or whatever. And I just feel like there was just aimless balls going into the box. No one was really kind of. It needed someone to come in and just do a moment of madness and just do either a mad pass or just a shot from outside. But you see when Salah put one top bins a couple of years ago, he done the yoga celebration. It needed something like that.
A moment of brilliance. We
didn't have it.
And I guess that takes us on to the question: is does Klopp need a plan B now? Have you finally reached that stage where I think all great clubs go through it? Opponents work away to play against them, and they find a way to figure them out. Yeah. And there was a moment where your high pressing heavy metal football was a problem for a lot of clubs, and they couldn't work a way around it. And it seems like now this sort of the five at the back, resolute defending, and counter you on the break is. Well, yeah, we saw that a lot when we went on that mad home run last season. Teams were literally coming saying, "Cool, like what you got for us? Do what you need to do." You got to blow them away.
That's the thing. We started well. First 10-15 minutes. I feel like a lot of times in games, especially the big games, if we don't get a goal in the first 15-20 minutes, then the game can kind of get away from us sometimes. But going back to a question about us needing a plan B or like have you been kind of found out, I do think I was saying this before the game, but I think that game was a perfect indication to FSG. I'm not going to do up my please FSG get me a sign in.
Get close up of this office.
That fucked me up last season. But I think that game was a clear indication that we need something. So we need either like a number 10 who's going to be able to unlock with a pass, or we need a striker who's going to offer a different, like a proper out and out number 9. Like even like a Calvert-Lewin, someone you can just like if it's 10 minutes to go, you can be like, right, cool, we've got a focal point.
You feel quite confident. You were saying off camera that you feel quite confident that Liverpool will make a signing.
Next so like 48 hours or something.
24 hours, I think. 36 maybe.
But like mad things have happened in it. Like especially with the way we like to move sometimes with our transfer movement, just comes out of nowhere sometimes. I think we do need to sign someone. I think we will. I don't know who it's going to be. It's probably going to be some 22-year-old from the Bundesliga who's like still cutting his teeth. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to need something, and obviously we got AFCON coming up as well. But AFCON aside, we need more firepower.
Definitely, I feel like you definitely need.
You need a little bit stale at times.
You do need a plan B, and I feel like a lot of what's sort of tided you over in recent years has been your front three and your ability to just score. You could
have chatted to them before. Like if one was having a bad game, the other one
always, for sure. And I just don't feel like you've got that in the bank anymore. I feel like that you're sort of running.
The only one that's still inevitable is Salah. He's the only one. Like Salah could be having the shittest game of his life. He'll still bag. Yeah. Call it whatever you want to say. It's going to be a pen or whatever. The guy.
Pen's an important part of the game.
Cool, of course. We just added Penaldo to Penandes.
Yeah, exactly. But so that, I guess with all that said, and the likelihood of Liverpool making a sort of surprise signing,
I said I wasn't going to say FSG. I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm going to do it. FSG. Get me a forward. Yeah, forward. Okay. Not a centre back. Get me a forward.
Kabak's gone to Norwich today.
Free my guy Kabak, man. Free my guy. But he made it back. He made it back to the Prem.
We've got a cab back to the Prem.
He made it back. He's my guy, man. He sorted us out last season. Took us. He's like, you see, like maybe the first person you sleep with after like a long-term relationship. Yeah, someone that just get back on the horse. He was like, he saw us through some tough times. It wasn't good enough to stick around, but you see them out in a club, and you just say, yeah. Thanks for the memories.
But going back to what I was saying with the transfer window closing, And the likelihood of Liverpool adding a superstar forward or a forward that's
Kylian is not done. He's not gone yet. He's not gone yet.
Let's not talk about Kylian. He's going to embarrass himself again. But with the likelihood of that falling with every hour, every passing second, do we need to rejig our top fours, or maybe not ours? But do you need to reassess who you had? I mean, Liverpool winning the league. And where did you put Chelsea? Where did you put Chelsea?
Do we need to look Chelsea third?
Do we need to look at Chelsea's title credentials now?
Listen, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
But as it stands right now with the squad you have, is it good enough?
It is still good enough. We haven't found. Right. It's 3 games in.
Alright, okay, we've won 2.
We've won 2. We've drawn 1. We've conceded 1 goal. Like. We're just going to need to click at some point.
What about Chelsea then? Do you think Chelsea now deserve a bit more respect? Or,
listen.
In my opinion,
go on.
My opinion, I think Chelsea missed the trick there. What would then for me be like that's title credentials is them winning that match.
I hear that, but
because Liverpool, you didn't deserve to get 3 points from that game. I think you were lucky to get 1. The performances, the chances you created were minimal.
Yeah, because if you take the penalty aside, we really. I mean, we had.
And the penalty coming just as the red card happened, so he does a real hammer blow.
It was bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, half time, boom.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But what was the question again about Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea. Do you feel like did
we underestimate them? It's early days, man. Listen.
Lukaku also doing Lukaku things again. My point about Lukaku stands.
We need to speak on that. We need to speak on that because that was fucking hilarious. I thought of you straight away. My man on the break trying to do step over.
He's not trying into Lionel Messi just because he had a couple years in Milan.
Then he punched the ball. The ball went in the opposite direction. He's on his arse. That was amazing, man. That was amazing. Yeah. Listen, people tried to do the little. And I know we mentioned it as well. People tried to do the Van Dijk, Lukaku, but whatever. But listen, Van Dijk he's looking back. Lukaku.
Did he looked like, for me anyway, Lukaku was like drifting over onto Matip instead.
Got bodied by Matip though. He had that one. There was that one chance where he spun Matip. That was horrible. That was like the Beyblade settings. But other than that, like it was calm, man. It was calm there at the office for the brothers of destruction at the back, Matip and Van Dijk. Best centre back pairing in the league.
How many games we had this season?
3 games. This is like the longest they've played together.
I think we've got like 4 matches for Matip left.
This is the thing. Let them not.
4 matches and Matip's injured. I promise.
No, man. Touch wood straight away. Because it's not even like an Eric Bailly thing where it could actually happen. It's probably going to happen as well. But every time I see him come out on the pitch,
it's inevitable.
Every time I see him come out, I'm just like, yes, Matip. We got like I don't know how long it's going to last for, but I'll take what I can get because he's underrated, man. Top centre back. But anyway, let's move on to the next section. Yeah. I feel like,
in terms of like, we were talking about, like what's happened to Liverpool in the past couple of years. And
so it's still in Liverpool.
No, but I'm just using that to sort of transition. We were talking about how Liverpool sort of like gone from being the dominant force in English football to like going through some teething issues. How would you describe what Arsenal are currently going through?
How very dare you put our names in the same sentence?
Well, I'm just talking about there's been like a decline, but like I don't even know what you can call Arsenal's now because it's like are they showing signs of life a little bit or is
what like bro bottom of the table?
But it's been worse for I don't know if it's been worse for Arsenal, but like is it going to get worse before it gets better? Do you think?
Listen,
with
all
Arteta
I can say is
at the helm.
Listen, all I can say is being a Liverpool fan growing up in like the mid-noughties, 90s. I'm just gonna look down the lens of the camera and say, Arsenal fans. It's going to get rough, yeah. It's going to get really, 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 really rough. What are they on 15 years now without a title? Obviously, football can change. Football can change very quickly, but it's looking like a long road back for Arsenal right now.
Would you stay if you're Stan Kroenke, if you're in the Arsenal boardroom, would you get rid of Arteta, or do you still feel like he can?
Boardroom? There's no boardroom. It's fucking cardboard room. Like he's in America half the time. You don't even know. I bet he didn't even know
what the boardroom is.
Like, yeah, bro. If you said to him like, listen,
boardroom meeting,
put the address of the boardroom into your Google Maps right now. You're gonna try and get. He doesn't know what he's never there. He doesn't care. He's not present. I mean, I know they spent 129 million.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think
but
in terms of
he's not as an owner. As an owner, he's not about this. He's not about this life at all.
in terms of investment, Arsenal have outspent Man United, Chelsea,
everyone. I think Europe. I think they're the biggest spenders.
They've
Look
outspent.
PSG
Yeah.
Bro, deep that a second. PSG.
Look at what Arsenal could be doing. This is what Arsenal could be doing if they were a serious club.
If
they didn't drop so far, like right now, realistically, if this happened to Man United would be like, cool. We're not doing European football this year. We've got all these options here. We're signing them up and we're selling them a project.
Yeah.
We're selling. Well, Arsenal are selling projects to who? Like these. I'm not saying Lukonga's not going to be a good player. I'm not saying Ben White's not going to be a good player. But they're not going to be players that you add around. You need an established. Look at Man United doing. We're touching it for a second now, but like in terms of having young players around experienced winners.
Listen,
Arsenal do not have the character, do not have the winners, do not have. Right now, they're like a social project. It's like honestly, it's like a social project. Yeah. It's like a doc, and they've got a fucking documentary around it. No wonder Amazon are doing their thing. Like,
listen, the Amazon documentary is going to be
essential watching, man. Like essential watching. We should do watch along.
We're gonna have to do a watch along. Premiere night.
Yeah, Spark Notes.
Like, it's gonna be fucking. Every time I watch them play this season, I don't know who is it. Is it Tom Hardy that done the Spurs one? He narrated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like that smooth, like monotone voice, just saying like how shit.
I think Dan Hardy's a Spurs fan.
Is he a Spurs fan? Who are they gonna get troops in?
Get Ray Parlour, bro. Get Ray Parlour troops. Yeah, I don't think troops will allow that.
This is the X-rated, but
he wouldn't
unrated. Like
taking it to the game and just like cut.
But the game, Arsenal, like, we knew what was coming.
What I was shocked with was like you could quite clearly. I know. City are they spam crossing quite a lot.
Yeah.
But they really like targeted the heart of Arsenal's defence, time and time again, balls into the box, and they just could not deal with it. They could not deal with it. Ferran Torres is ghosting in between Holding and who's playing in
Chambers
and Holding.
Also, Kolasinac, my man got injured. Where did he come from though? His first start and how long?
But he was the only player that he actually looked like he could defend.
Listen, Arteta is clearly out of his depth. Like
I disagree. I think now,
what are you seeing right now?
The start to the season has been shocking.
What are you seeing that's giving
shocking? This is like championship level.
Yeah.
Like just come up. Securing the bag,
bro.
We're going back down. See you in a bit. Championship.
They are bottom of the league.
See you in 38 games.
No goal scored.
Yeah. But 100%, I'm with you. But I do think that Arsenal starting 11 is a different beast to the one that's currently playing.
So who's actually missing then? We spoke about it quickly before.
You've got Gabriel. I think Gabriel's a monster.
Partey was
man.
at flipping Yam that he's doing like festivals this weekend. Whole time.
I
told you festival season it comes for everyone. Obviously Jack Grealish as well.
Don't even get started on that. He's moist as fuck. He just came on to say hello and then bounced.
Bro, I told you. Alex from Glasgow has now been replaced.
I can't believe it. Why is fucking Stormzy dancing on stage with an art?
Drew's United fan as well. Yeah, he's mad.
Is that what you're saying? He's the fanboy. But going back.
Yeah, who's missing from their starting 11 then?
So Gabriel is I really rate Gabriel. If you play Gabriel with Ben White. I think that is the sort of.
Who's the leader?
Gabriel, 100%. He's
still young.
White's more of like a sweeper. Like he'll bring the ball out of play.
When I say leader, I mean like who's the one? You need one to have experience. What centre back?
They don't have that anywhere in the team apart from maybe up front.
Xhaka, he's meant to be there, like experience.
Yeah, he's got.
Name me any like proper centre back pairing. You can go back like as far as you want. Like there needs to be one, not even an age thing, but it needs to be like one.
But that's like elite. That's like elite shit. Like Arsenal right now they're just trying to plug gaps. But those two are the two players that I keep moving forward.
Yeah. But I rate both of them. Don't get me wrong. So Gabriel's out, Partey's out. Who else is missing?
Partey's out.
Bro, this is the most I'm checking.
Well, no, but they haven't had Saka, Aubameyang, and Lacazette all playing at the same time, or Pepe. They've got. No. I'm not saying these are. I'm just saying these are the players. Once they're all together, I think they can.
You think they can do it?
There's more. I have more faith in that Arsenal team.
Obviously, they're not. For me, all jokes aside, they're not a 20th place team. They're not going to finish the season in 20th. What is Arsenal's level then? Because you're naming these players that are coming back, and like. they're not world beaters. None of these players. Saka, Smith Rowe. They're good. They're just good players. None of them. They could be potentially good, but they're not going to take you to the next level. Where are these men trying to get
Smith Rowe, Balogun, with some real experience and some quality and hardened.
Meant to be Aubameyang, meant to be Lacazette.
Yeah, but they just seem they seem like weak. Or like just they don't seem to
It's not. It's the mentality is not there.
It's when the camera cuts to like their faces after they concede a goal, and there's no hope in their eyes. Like anyway,
I'm telling you, Xhaka's got sent off on purpose. I just clocked that challenge. He was like fuck this.
No, he just doesn't. He can't control his. He can't control his
getting out of here.
His emotions very well.
But the ball was going absolutely he gets blind alleys, like
but
mad.
Speaking of like the massive holes that were in Arsenal's defence, I think City did really well in
Ferran Torres
in penetrating those holes and finding those gaps. And like I said before, they found space in the box in between Arsenal defenders time and time again.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't hard though, was it? Like,
no, not at all.
But City, I think obviously they've played. It's hard to gauge with City, though, isn't it? Like they've been clamouring for this number 9 all summer, taking hella L's.
Do you think they need a striker?
I do, yeah. I think people are. I think a lot of commentators have been quick to say, "Oh, they won the league last season with no striker. They can go again." But if you look around, bruv, everyone's strengthened.
Who's strengthened?
Everyone's strengthened.
Who's strengthened?
Everyone's strengthened. This guy, man. Everyone's strengthened. So I don't think they can go again and just like be badding up the league like they were last year with no striker. But listen,
what do you think they win the league as it stands?
No, I don't think so. I still don't think they can go again another season with no striker and expect to win the league. Not for me anyway. But Ferran Torres could be that guy. He could get them if he can get them 15 league goals a season playing as their number 9. They got goals all over. They got goals all over.
Speaking of goals all over, where do you think Mason Greenwood ranks in like Premier League teenage prodigy history? Where does he rank in your estimation?
So I think he broke a record over the weekend. I think he equalled Michael Owen's record over the weekend. I think I'm for me personally, and I think I don't even need to ask your opinion on this. I'd put him in that group. Maybe not with Wayne Rooney, because Rooney's thing was just completely different. From 16 years old, he was like just winning games week in week out pretty much. But with like your kind of prodigal young strikers, Fowler, Owen, he's in that caliber for me. He's different. He's absolutely. I can see the smiley on face. Yeah. But yeah, he like.
Where does he rank? Where would you say in terms of the best teenagers in the Premier
League? For me, I think Wayne Rooney is the best teenager that we've seen in the Prem. Also looking at the career they went on to have as well, you can argue that Owen peaked 21 and it was never really the same afterwards. Fowler didn't really play for as long as he should have done at the top level. I think my man was ending his career in like Australian League and that. So, but Greenwood, he's up there, man. He's up there. I don't know if his goals. I don't know if his numbers are like on Michael Owen numbers yet, but he's on his way, man. He's different. His thing's different. Left foot, right foot. Like it's just mad. It's the accuracy. You can't even hate on it either. Like he's just sick. He's just sick. He's sick. I don't really. What was the question? Let's move on to the next one. No, he's mad. Well, what are you saying then?
So for me,
I think I gave him a pretty glowing review. How are you going to try and top?
So for me, Mason Greenwood is the greatest teenager the Premier League has ever seen, and I'll explain why.
Better than Rooney.
Much better than Wayne Rooney. Yeah. So the reason why I'm saying this is Wayne Rooney, when he broke through, was a man, right?
Yeah.
He was a man, and he possessed physical attributes that allowed him to.
He was able to body guys off
demonstrate his technical ability, right? Because he was very, very good technically as well. I was like insanely strong and well built for a 16-year-old or whatever. Michael Owen was blessed with incredible pace, like ridiculous pace, and very good finishing as well. Very and hungry to score goals. Mason Greenwood.
Mason
Greenwood's fast, but for me, his instead of having a physical attribute, it's his finishing. Something that he's worked on, not been blessed with. Both
I hear what you're saying.
Is insane. I've never seen a 19-year-old.
So your thing is you're saying that because Rooney and Owen were both blessed with two different, but two like just not God given like attributes from birth, whatever. But because Mason's thing is like he's worked on his finishing and he's finessed it to a point where
and physically he's
pretty much completed. He's pretty much completed finishing.
His sister's like an England sprinter. He's blessed. He's from a family of like he's physically so good. But for me, at his age, it isn't his strength or his pace that is his redeeming factor. It's his knack for finding for scoring. Scarily, and I'm going to say this: I think he will be the greatest English goal scorer of all time. He will be he's the great. He will be seen as the greatest finisher. He will be regarded as the greatest finisher England has ever produced.
When man's on loan at Everton.
Genuinely, the greatest English finisher that England has ever produced. His ability, and like it's not even just coming from me. And you know I've loved him from donkeys, but players that see him day in day out, they're also reinforcing this. Like Luke Shaw's come out and said it. Solskjaer's come out and said it. Like I'm gassed about. Yeah, just thank you for reminding me. Like, so you see when Cavani came in and then Mason, for me anyway, I started seeing him making these darts to the near post, like stopping his run, going back in again, like making numerous runs.
Moving the hype, man.
But he's I've seen him be able to spot, and he said it in interviews as well. He spotted something that he really likes in Cavani's game and tried to replicate it. When Ronaldo comes in, Lord Almighty, like Mason is going to have two of the greatest strikers of all, like of our modern era in terms of the movement and the bit. Mason and Ronaldo had that same greedy streak as well, bit like Ruben Nistelrooy, but Ronaldo's desperate to score goals. Mason's coming into as an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old in the Man United first team, and was just desperate to score goals. And I haven't seen. So the last player I saw at Old Trafford who had the ability to strike a ball off both feet in the same way was Cristiano Ronaldo. And I can't wait for them two to link up in training. Those competitions. Who's going to be the best finisher in the club now? Mason Greenwood had that mantle. Do you think he's going to allow Cristiano Ronaldo and come in? I can't wait. I want to imagine. I saw that meme. This is what Ronaldo and Greenwood are going to be like this season. And it's just like it was Jackie Chan and like Jaden Smith doing like the. I was like, yes, to get that injected into me. Bro. But for me, Mason Greenwood is the greatest teenager that ever played.
What I was going to say was that the scariest thing is that we're talking about Rooney and his strength and his physical and his physique, basically, Owen and his pace. Two things you can lose. They can come and go in football quite easily. The way my man's finessed his finishing, you don't really lose that. Like you can lose your pace
as well. He doesn't ever really sky it or like scuff it.
Like the shots when I saw that shot yesterday, very very acute angle.
It's the way he goes in.
I was like, it's going in. I was like, it's just going in.
Do you know where that's from? Do you see when he scored that goal? Yeah. He didn't get that from Cristiano Ronaldo. He got that from Brazilian Ronaldo. And that's his like idol in terms of. And you see the YouTube. He's like, he sees the step overs, comes in, and he takes it on his right foot.
I saw that.
And buries it.
That's just going in.
Yeah. Like the kid. Do you know what he's clearly done? He's a natural at football. Like a genuine natural. Like someone like when he had the ball at his feet for the first time, he was both fitted. I promise you, he's a natural. He looks at stuff and he can do it.
Man's just whipping corners and that with both feet as well. It's just like it's just ridiculous. It shouldn't make sense. Listen, the only thing I can say, the only redeeming feature is that man's English.
He's gonna break. I think he'll break all of Rooney's records. I think he can break Ryan Giggs' record as well.
Hopefully he's around for long enough. Hopefully Gareth starts putting respect on his name as well.
Do you know what? I'm not angry about this because I saw the way Gareth was treating Man United players at the Euros. If he ain't gonna start, I don't want him. Do you know what I mean? I don't want him going away. I'm cool with it. I'm at the moment. Mason Greenwood, focus on being a United regular. Let's do you know what I mean? England can wait. These qualifiers don't mean shit to me anyway. Like Mason Greenwood's development. The
Euros are done. Tournament hype's done. Until Qatar was like, talk to me in Jan. Then we'll see. World Cup fever. But actually, let's segue nicely onto the next question. We were talking about the finish in the game against Southampton, but we haven't against Wolves. Sorry, but we haven't talked about the rest of the performances. One man's performance I want to talk about in particular. Some people call him the pasta. Man was playing like he had pasta bolognese in his mouth. Listen, Fred, that disaster class, and that's what we're going to call it. That is Premier League Hall of Shame. That's up there with one of the. I think there's another one as well. Shout out Harry Adams actually talking about this the other day. Bakayoko for your Chelsea. I can't remember who they played a couple of years ago, but one of the worst performances. Fred's one was up there, like trapping the ball, couldn't do it, leaving gaps in midfield, just chasing people around, but not really getting close to anyone. I was watching you on Twitter. Just you were not happy with it at all. But yeah, speak on Fred. Well, actually, more talk on the fact like 36 hours or whatever left of the window. If you don't sign his DM and you got McFred or just Fred, what's going to happen this season? Can you still get to the promised land with them, man?
It'll be a lot harder. It'll be a lot harder with Fred in our team. And I'm starting to like. It gets to the point where I'm like, is he worth the stress? Because sometimes he puts in good performances, but like, is he worth the stress?
He scored on the opening day of the season.
Yeah, I know, but like, is he worth the stress? Like, is that goal?
Is he worth the stress? Is he worth the stress?
For me, I clocked yesterday.
Because your head was hot.
He's not worth it.
I haven't seen. Normally, you try and still like.
No, I was saying this. I was looking at the time. I was like, it's 7 minutes into this game. And I'm really like, need to get him off. We need Fred off.
The thing is with Fred is like, players can have off days in it, but when man's bad, he will stink up the whole pitch, the entire pitch, because
no one affects the whole team because he gets the ball off the defence.
And
I'm seeing, bro, I was watching Varane passing the ball to him. No, I was watching the way Varane was passing the ball to him, bro. Man was playing it in so lightly into his feet. He was like, this can't be a bad touch. If it just hits your leg, it will stop. I was like, ease the ball into you, bro. Everyone else is fizzing it in. He's like, Fred, there you go. Easy does it. Easy.
Man was kicking ball with Casemiro last season, yeah. Top echelon, upper echelon, yeah.
Cruz.
But we're talking DM here. But that midfield, yeah, and now he's passing to McTominay and Fred. I know.
He didn't play with McTominay.
Scott was
McTominay is different.
Them man are not. They're not levels.
It's got to be. We want to keep McSauce, bro. It's just got to be McSauce. Fred moving forward cannot remain.
So what's the plan then? You don't sign a DM. What do you do? What do you do for the rest of the season?
I think we just have to hope that we can. Yeah, we can get by without. Or we can just get performances out of Fred that are like a bit. With Fred performing like that, he cannot retain his place in our team.
But you know he's got that in his locker. What, every 1 in 5 games Fred will do that. Yeah. 1 in 10 games, like he. It
just depends if we can cover up for his mistakes by just.
Bro, it's not like he's a winger who's just a bit like erratic, like a Dharma.
You just can't trust him in front of
that position. That position, one of the most important positions. Obviously, the game's all about goals, but in terms of like importance to the rest of the team, to the whole team, that's the very important position. You can't be having flipping clowns in there, not receiving the ball, not being able to like string 2 passes together. He'll. And yesterday, you're lucky Mason came through, but he could have cost you that game.
Mate,
yesterday.
He cost us big time.
He could have cost you yesterday easily.
I'm done with Fred. What? I'm done with. I don't know if you want Fred. I'm done with Fred.
So say you don't. So who would you go for? Like, one name now.
If I could go for a player now, I get Sal. I think Camavinga looks like he wants to run his contract down. Ren want to sell. Can we make that happen? I don't know. It looks like Dan James is off as well. So good riddance, in my opinion.
Probably.
Good. No, look. I don't like there being a player. I don't like there being a player in my team. I don't.
But he's a man that you were like.
I tried, bro. I was sending him tweets over the Euros, being like, "Bro, take this form into the league." But my man, he needs like professional help. Like what he's getting at United, he's not a central part of our team or a component.
He's just like he's very much the little man in the dressing room, innit?
He's the lithium battery that keeps running. Like we need to like he needs for his career. He needs to go to Bielsa. He needs to be coached. Oli is just like he's managing Man United as a club. He's got bigger fish to fry than Dan James.
Well, I do think that is a pretty bad indictment of your coaching setup. I do hear what you're saying.
We ain't got enough time for Dan James. I hear what
you're saying. We ain't got
enough time to fix him.
It's like what a teteacher would say in like an inner city school. The classroom's overpopulated. Dan James is like
he's not a priority, bro.
He's just there. Like
he's there when we need him. Like he's there when we need him. He stays fit. But he's off. So thank you for everything. Thank you for those first 3 games.
What, was that 3 seasons? 2 seasons ago. Probably.
Yeah, other than that, he just scores goals in like 7-0, 9-0 thrashings. Like
he got a goal against Southampton, didn't it?
And Leeds as well.
Listen, I think he'll do. I think he could do well at Leeds.
Yeah, Bielsa will get a tune out of him for sure. I don't doubt that for a second. I just don't think like we were saying before that he's got enough space in behind to be playing for United or be able to. He hasn't got enough. He's not good enough at finding space for himself or
thinking for himself or like just slowing the game. He's like he's stuck on flipping R2.
Because R2's jammed from
up and down.
But yeah, so I think ultimately, yeah, if we get Saul or Camavinga, we could. I think we're up there, title favourites with City. But if we don't,
top 4 race.
No, I don't think. I think we'll be comfortable top 4. We don't get Ronaldo and finish top 4, bro.
Well, Juve last season scraped it. But they get a lot.
Our team. You don't add Ronaldo to our team and finish 4.
I think we need to do a special.
One sec.
Special piece on Ronaldo.
That's it.
I thought you actually were going to stop the video for like
get a little archetype.
What the hell is going on?
You seen this before?
Yeah, I've seen it.
See this? This is an heirloom. This used to be my first lucky shirt, bro. See this? Number 7. All the white bit on here is all chapped off, will come off.
Production.
It's got a lot of use. And this year, it's going to be making a lot more appearances over the course of the season. So you just get used to it.
I tell you what, you lot won't be able to see this obviously from the other side, but it smells peng. I know you just have to give it that fresh wash. It looks like fucking shit, but it smells very nice.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
give you that still.
Bit like you.
But we'll be cutting that one. That one will not be making the final edit. Yeah, so that United, Fred, shocker, Mason really bailed you out, but also we need to De Gea save us. But what you
we need to talk about our defence and our defending, and I think everyone in that back 4 was defending against Adama Traore is no easy feat, especially when he's on song like that. That was ridiculous.
He was moving crazy. If he just had end product.
Yeah, he could. I think he'd do better at a bit of club, but we'll talk about that probably another time. But our defenders, like Wan-Bissaka, that block, incredible. We done well to keep Adama Traore quiet. I think towards in the second half and
he just
last 15 minutes.
Over when was it? What's his name? Prudence came on.
Yeah. He did. I think he did well. Varane on his debut, not an easy place to go, Molineux, by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, they were up for it. Crowd was up for it.
Yeah, proper up for it. Adama Traore running, and he didn't get not one person dribbled past him that game. Like I think he was just always there and just never seemed rattled at any point. He came out and said like he had to concentrate the whole time. Like in the Premier League, you have to concentrate the whole game. This is what he came for. So he knows he knows the brief. He knows that these games are going to be typical games. Like he wouldn't have got this when he was at Real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We were the worst team for long portions of that game,
bro. Until you scored, like the Wolves were on you, on you. Adama
Mason saved us.
Was moving crazy.
So yeah,
De Gea, we need to
David De Gea.
That save was. That was De Gea from like a few years ago.
All I'm gonna say is this De Gea that's come back this season. Remember, we could talk about Ronaldo winning us points.
What are you saying, Remontada for De Gea?
Yeah. We're talking about Ronaldo winning us points on his own. The goals he's going to be getting us, the goals that we'll be getting with Sancho, the assists we're going to be getting from Sancho, the clean sheets we're getting with Varane. But remember back those days that alone David De Gea would save us like 15 points a season.
Yeah, bro.
If we add that, if we are looking at the sort of the renaissance of David De Gea. Then that for me, that save was vintage David De Gea. That's David De Gea against Arsenal against Sanchez. He should not be. Saïd should be scoring that goal. Any defender, any other goalkeeper in the league, that's a goal. No one else reacts like that in the Premier League. He reacts like a cat. He is a cat, El Gato. That's what I'm going to call him, like El Gato. If he's not called, is he called that?
Man's running back to the GCSE Spanish.
El Gato,
is that you? Por supuesto. But yeah, listen, that's the kind of game that if you're gonna win the league or have title aspirations, you got to win them kind of games. I can't remember
who was on the commentary who said that. I was like, that's so true.
But
we can't be looking at it back in the season and think.
But on the flip side of that, you can't be having too many of them kind of performances because you did not.
Do you know what we've been for a long time? We've been very, very slow off the mark in previous seasons.
Yeah,
we've been playing catch up
last year,
especially so. A season before that, I remember we didn't start off that well. Lost a couple of games, But I'll take these performances where we just keep moving. We keep moving, and we're just taking these wins, and we're getting those points on the table. And then when we start,
so what
hitting
have you had so far?
form,
You've had a win and 2 draws. Sorry, 2
wins and a draw.
Who did you draw against last week?
Southampton.
Yeah,
we should have. I didn't watch.
But those are the kind of games that you got to win.
Exactly.
If you want to have title aspirations.
That's what the commentator was saying. He was literally saying that those are the sorts of games you got to grind out.
Teams that win titles, always look back on those kind of moments.
Yeah, exactly. But those are the ones that no glamour involved. It's just just get the 3 points and
3 points. Get the 3 points. Go home. Dead performance. Obviously we spoke about the Fred's shambles before, but listen,
these are the games like last season we started off poor, like real poor. These are the games where we need to like last season where we had a poor start. We're playing catch up. Doesn't matter how we perform right now. Just get the points from the board and then we move forward.
I hear that. I just think
we'll come into form later on in the season.
I think for title though, like
getting everyone up to scratch. We still got more to come. We've got Ronaldo coming as well. We're good, baby.
Yeah, well, we'll see what CR7 does. Confirmed now. Gonna get that number 7 jersey. The prodigal son.
Well deserved as well. Obviously, Cavani's done a nice
done dirty. I was keeping it warm until the real government come back.
But moving on to I think there's one player in particular we want to give a shout out. Like we were talking about him before, and he's the inform attacker in.
Bro, not even in the top 5 leagues.
He's killing it. He's
most goal contributions. How much is it? He's 7. He's eaten with Benzema, Lewandowski. This is like the proper. This is the
upper echelon.
Proper upper echelon.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I was like, do you think like Antonio? What's his limit here? Do you think he can rival Lukaku? He's doing alpha male settings.
He's doing ultimate vibe settings right now. Like, I don't know where he can go.
Output too. It's not just vibes.
When I say vibes, it's like he's doing it with a smile on his face. He's doing it with just the brazy celebrations as well.
Got that football league like Eddie
he's got like the Jamie Vardy, the
come
Ian
from
Wright,
nothing sort of like
literally come from the bottom, and he's at the top right now. He's here. He's
You've been listening to Drake?
Nah, not me, not me. But yeah, he's doing his thing at the moment. And like you just love to see it, man. I absolutely love to see it. Big time. Scoring, not just scoring these little dead goals as well. Balling out with 4 nows. Ben Rama, like they've got something going on at the moment.
For sure. And the way he's taken his goals as well. It's not just been since the start of the season. It's been for a year from 12 to 18 months.
From Project Restart. From then he started. That's when he really started balling out. That's kind of when West Ham, because I'm pretty sure before lockdown West Ham weren't really on too much.
They weren't really playing him, man. I don't think they were even playing him that much.
They kind of pulled it out the back. Yeah, because they still had flipping Haller then as well.
Yeah, they were playing him on the out wide, I think, as well. But then he was a problem, man.
He's forced himself into his position.
He's found his position as well. Like
number 9 on his back. Ben Rama had to give that up this season. And going back to a question, can he be like the alpha male, the top, like what Drogba used to be to the Prem? We're seeing it at the moment.
Don't you think he kind of like looks at himself now as a Premier League player and like not just like a right back who's gone to play up front? He now sees himself as an actual
50
striker.
50 Prem goals, West Ham record. Like that's not to be slept on at all.
But like now he's been given the number 9. Like he's
recognised. He's certified.
I think he's fearless. I think he has no fears whatsoever.
When they run back Premier League years in like 10 years time, he's going to be in a lot of
people
the vignettes.
Remember that season.
Streets will not forget what he's doing right now.
No,
this
for
like
sure.
18-month
He's
period.
a real one.
Big him up. Mentioned his celebrations before. Him and Vardy are up there. It seems like the man that kind of rises through the leagues. They've got the best chat.
Exactly.
They've got the most about them as well.
Stuff
you can't buy. Just that them little
earned their corn throughout their careers and now sort of are starting to like reap the crops.
Big up Antonio every time.
I think he can go on. I reckon he can get to the century. I reckon he can get into the 100 club. Definitely. I reckon if he continues the way he's playing now and maintains his confidence, because right now his confidence must be through the roof. He must be thinking he's going to bag every time he gets onto the pitch.
Yeah, bro, the finishes as well. He clarted the one against
bouncing defenders off him. Get out of my way. Like,
this is the kind of Formula year where like stuff falls to you. Everything you hit goes in. And long may it continue, man. Long may it continue.
Yeah, man.
West Ham, obviously, they got Europa League this season as well.
Mate, so he's going to do
be interesting to
some
see.
dirty things. He's going to start making his. He's going to start Hungarian centre backs, but he's going to be on Pornhub.
I can tell. Doing like monkey noises and that.
Yeah. But watch, that's going to spur him on. Exactly.
There's only one way to hurt that kind of thing, and that's
bad goals, fam.
Bad goals, left, right, and centre. I think he can do it. I think he can do it.
Moise Keane. But moving on to our last question, and this is one that's actually, I think I've started to have these feelings at the start of the season after the first game week, and it's about Spurs, and it's in particular I've been enjoying the way Spurs have been a bit more direct, and that's especially considering they were a counter-attacking team. In possession, they looked to play the ball through the lines a lot better, and I guess what my question is, and you can tell which way I'm leaning towards. But has Nuno got Spurs playing a better brand of football than Jose did? Because they did.
Spurs
Jose played some good football, but
that's what I was going to say. If you look at the start of this season and the start of last season, there's a lot of parallels you can draw. Obviously, Spurs they were scoring way more freely last season. I think they got 4 or 5 on the first day of the season against Southampton.
But he didn't do it against
this season.
City,
This season they had 3 1-0 wins to start the season, no goals conceded. So it's different, but the parallels you can kind of draw in terms of like them playing on the counter, them just. I think.
But it's not just the counter.
I think what they realise is that their midfield might not be the strongest part of the team, so they're looking just to get it forward as quickly as possible, bypass the midfield. And they've got effective players up front. Mora's had a great start to the season. Son's doing Son things.
Mate, Tanganga again looks. I think he could be an outside bet for the World Cup.
He's
a proper. If Ben White got to the Euros, Tanganga can go to the World Cup.
He's playing right back there, isn't it? We've already got.
No, I wouldn't be playing him right back.
Yeah, but I'm saying you know how Gareth moves.
If you were the right centre back, I would look no further.
You know how Gareth moves already. He's gonna play you where he's playing for.
This guy is a centre back.
I know that. Everywhere he came through as a centre back. Obviously, he's only playing right back because they've got flipping Dumb and Dumber out there. Or is even still there?
He's still there.
Doherty as well. Fam, Doherty must be fuming as well. Got sold by Nuno. Less than a year later, Nuno's back again, and you're doing up the bench.
I think that could be,
but listen, for me, going back to the question,
I do really like.
Brother, it's the mindset when it gets there. Remember last season?
We were talking about the way they're playing football. I think. You won't see Spurs go into look how they played against City, for example.
The City game was impressive.
That was impressive.
That wasn't City at their pomp. They had a couple players
I'm not the same. You say the same thing for Spurs, right?
Yeah, no Kane. True. Both we were saying that both sides potentially were missing someone like Harry Kane in the team, but Spurs did get a win. Listen, Spurs have got this in them. They've got this in them to go on like a good 5, 6, 7 game.
Do you think they can break into the Fox? It was an outside shout at the time. I said I think I could see Spurs potentially causing a bit of an upset.
I would argue that this season, for the first time in quite a long time, has got a very clear top 4 and then add the rest. I know Leicester, you can argue will be there and thereabouts, but I think going from the last 2 seasons where they bottled it, we can't really be backing them too much like that. I think this season, with the standard that Liverpool and City have set over the last 3-4 years, with how Chelsea have invested, with how United have invested, I think it's very much for.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone.
Who are they going to get in? Who's going to get?
I don't know, but
I know you might be trying to push the Liverpool thing.
No, it could be anyone. It could be Liverpool.
I don't think Spurs can finish above Chelsea, Liverpool.
I think this is going to be an incredibly competitive season.
Season's going to be nuts.
I think some games will be decided on fine margins, and I think sometimes it's not always representative of like who the best.
Yeah, but over the course of a season, the cream rises. You see.
I don't know. I think if Spurs get top 4, I'm not saying they will.
If Spurs get top 4, they deserve it 100% because it's 38 games. You got to do your thing. And for me, it's the history. Yeah, the history of Tottenham.
Do you think? without any additional signings, Liverpool can still get into the top. What's the finish top?
Top four. Without any signings, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. I think we can. I still think we can win the league.
Would you make any changes to your predicted top 6 or top 4?
I might maybe swap City and Chelsea round. Have Chelsea second, but I'm still backing my bro. It's been
City
3 games. I'll still back us to win the league.
And United.
With
Ronaldo in 4th.
Bro, last season Juventus got Champions League football last game of the season. I think without signing your DM, I still don't think United can win the league. That's my honest opinion. I don't think you can win the league, and you've got. I honestly think we've got a better starting 11 than you know. Than us.
Yeah. I think
it's close. I think this the midfield area is a myth.
I think finally we can all agree.
What's he gonna say?
That Man United has the best left back in the league, without a doubt. And on that note, guys, I'd love to thank you for watching. It's been one weird and wonderful production.
We ain't doing this right.
I've been Moses. This has been Ishmael. Damn!
Hit me with the low blow.
But look, we can all agree. Get in the comments. Do you disagree? I think it's unanimous. Ishmael, would you think?
Share, subscribe.
Exactly.
Do your thing and keep engaging. My man's just done me dirty. Man's just hit me with the low blow. He's run off stage left.
1, 2, 3.
He's run off stage left. But you know what? I don't care. My guy Andy Robbo. You know what time it is already.
Terrible performance though, wasn't it, against Chelsea?
Yeah, I still think he probably came back too soon. Did you see the ankle injury?
Yeah, cheers guys. Tune in next time. We'll be back soon. Peace.